Hello, everybody. Welcome to Lunch with Linda. I am Linda Daniels, and you are now inside Northampton Wools. Here we are, the last day of September. It's a gorgeous day here in Northampton, Mass, and I hope it's beautiful where you are. We are sending all of our thoughts and prayers to those people down south that got hit with Hurricane Helene and have basically been wiped out. So I will sort of keep an eye out for calls for items that might be collectible by us and donatable, and we might kind of do something for those people down there because it sure looks like devastation. And what makes it so dramatic is that a lot of that happened in places that never thought they would experience that kind of flooding before. So if you're in that area, we're thinking about you. Although I think if you're in the really damaged area, you probably don't even have internet yet. But it is beautiful here. The Big E has ended. Students are back in school, and we are all set for fall. The very first thing I want to tell you about is a brand new item on our website, and it's called the calendar page. So when you go to northamptonwools.com, up in the blue bar, you will see those normal things: shop, about us, all of that kind of stuff. And in that bar, it says calendar. And if you click on the calendar, and I just want to get this right, click on the calendar page, and it brings you to a page that shows 3 of the most current class listings. And to the very far right, there is in orange a little word that says view calendar. And if you click on that, it takes you to an actual calendar, and it lists or shows all of the classes, and it shows events that are happening not just here but in town. So you'll be able to have a really good overview of what the month looks like. If you scroll down from the calendar, each of the classes that we have listed on the website is listed in orange. And if you click on that orange listing, it takes you right to the class listing page where you can register for the class. So we have tried to make it as easy as possible. You can still just go to the classes page and see the classes listed there as well. But we're so excited about this calendar feature because I know I like working with a paper calendar. It shows everything. We will put in our hours when we have special hours to go, special sale days, things like this month, October 12th, next month, still September. In October, there's an I Love Yarn Day that you might want to pay attention to. We're going to start being open on Sundays this weekend from 1 to 5. We're going to list that on the calendar. And then anything else that we've got coming up. So take a look at that brand new service on our website, because we want to make sure that you know what's going on, not only here, but in all of Northampton. So when Northampton has a special thing or a special weekend, we'll be able to put that up as well. So we're really, really happy about that. Yay. Yeah, Kate's done a great job so far putting it on. So we've only just begun to put stuff up there. And as we figure out more and more how to do it. Oh yeah, she did say there's a little button on the bottom where you can even just print it right out. So you can have it to carry around as well. Ooh, so much fun. Yay. So we've had a great week here at the store. September has been an incredibly beautiful month here with, unfortunately, not very much rain, but we have benefited from that because people come downtown. I wanted to tell you that Lizzie Alwyn, who does the goat soap from Van Goat Farm, brought in another order of the soap. So we've restocked some of the scents. This is lavender, the lemon poppy seed, and the honey almond are favorites that we had when she first made the soap. And then this time she was able to add a couple of other scents, not flavors, but scents as well. And both of them are really nice, especially for men, as well as those more flowery scents like the lavender. One of them is apple cinnamon, and both of these scents are very subtle. They're not real heavy, but apple cinnamon smells like apple pie. And then she did one called mint bay leaf, which is also really very subtle. So this is a great soap. We are so, so, so happy and proud to be able to support a very local, very small business. Lizzie just started having goats a few months ago and is really having a great time and has been able to begin making the soap. So these bars sell for $8.50. Yeah, $8.50 a bar. And because it's a hard goat soap, it's very, very rich and creamy, but it's going to last a while too. So you'll want to take advantage of that and take a little sniff when you come in next time. We do also have little samples of the lavender and the honey almond, and there's probably one of the, what's that other, the lemon poppy seed. We have little samples of that if you just wanted to try it out. These are for $2.50 as well. We don't have the soap on the website. It is an in-store purchase because you should really smell it before you actually purchase it. So that is in restock. We have classes up on the website finally, now that all of our getting ready for fall stuff is done, and I'm back from my little California trip. The classes are live, starting with the very first class this Saturday. This is the slipper class. It seems to be a little bit of a slipper thing going on. I showed you those really delicate Turkish slippers a few weeks ago, and I still have to make the second one of those. And then we got in this really fun slipper from Polka Dot Sheep. This is done on a size 11 needle with their bulkiest yarn, and it comes in a kit form. So I immediately opened one up and made one slipper. Now, as usual, I recommend making the slippers smaller than you think they need to be because your foot really stretches these out. And if you make them too big, they'll feel too big right away. So we're going to make them smaller. In this class on Saturday, you're going to learn how to do Judy's Magic Cast On. It starts right here in the middle. You're going to learn how to knit with a magic loop so that you are knitting in the round. You're going to change color and learn how to do the dip stitch, which is this fancy stitch right here. And then you're going to do some decreasing and how to finish it off with a stretchy cast off as well. It's a really fast project. I did this in only a couple of hours. Like I said, it's on a size 11 needle, so there's still some warmth and firmness to the knit. And the only requirement is that you have to purchase the kit. But the kit has enough yarn in it to make 2 pairs of slippers, 2 adult slippers. The pattern is sized from small all the way up to very large. Let's see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's actually 6 sizes in the directions, starting with a size shoe 4 to 5, all the way up to a size 13 to 14. But like I said, you can make 2 pairs of slippers, not socks, slippers. You make 2 pairs of slippers out of this one kit. So you do have to purchase the kit and then purchase the class. But there's this great gold and red or cranberry, really deep cranberry. There's the blue and the pink that I used. There's the green. Wait, am I missing a color? There's the green and the autumn kind of colors.
This really sweet one
The pink with
like
the
a purple, blue, green.
yeah, that's it. With the pink with the really pretty. That color should have a name because we've seen it in a lot of hand dyed yarns. It is really, really nice. So that class is this Saturday. We've got a couple of people signed up already. You can find that on our calendar page or on the classes page and sign up for it. And the classes are beginning to fill. So if you didn't get the email, check the website out. We also have the class list as a handout. If you would prefer that, you can come on in and grab one. Because we are starting our season now and we'll be having lots of classes. Yesterday I had a team meeting with all of the staff and we worked out our schedule for the rest of the year. Like I said, we will be opening on Sunday starting this Sunday, and I haven't scheduled any classes or workshops for Sunday yet, but I will be doing that this week as well. So if there's something you would like to see happen on a Sunday, shoot me an email or make a comment here and we'll see if we can work it in. There are already a few more classes that we know we're going to schedule. I'm so excited that Brianna said that she would teach a brioche class for us this year. So look for some brand new things coming your way. We, of course, have gotten in a lot of yarn. I haven't even shown you everything that has come, but I did want to show you a couple of things each week. One of the yarns that we got in is a true luxury yarn, and it is the most expensive yarn in the shop and will probably continue to be throughout the rest of the year. But we're just being upfront about it. There is no getting around the fact that all yarn is getting more expensive, but this stuff is definitely the most expensive, but there's a lot of really good reasons why. This is called Poema Cashmere, and it is the luxury line from Lane du Nord. We get this through Knitting Fever, and if you touch this yarn, you can't help but fall in love with it. It is 80% 16 micron merino wool. That is the finest merino that you can get. You've heard me talk about 16 micron before because Earth Yarn has a yarn that is called 16 because it is micron, that thin. It is really luxurious and fine. And then the other 20% is cashmere, and that's already 10% higher. Most cashmere blends add just 10% cashmere, and that already makes a difference in the softness. But this stuff is exquisitely soft. It is an incredible amount of yarn. There's 580, I think it works out to 585 yards in each skein. So there's plenty here to do a good sized shawl with just one skein of yarn. It looks like it's on the thin side when you look at it in the skein, but it's going to knit on a size 5 or 6 needle at that DK weight. That's going to allow that single ply to bloom and full. The term is full. That means it expands as the air gets in it. One skein, like I said, is going to be enough to do a shawl. They have come out with a couple of patterns, which I'll show you in a minute, because first I want to show you the colors. We got 4 colors in. This is sort of a denim blue, and if you can see the inside, it's a gradient. So it's going to run from light to medium to dark from the inside out. And the inside of this particular color has kind of a marled effect. So it's not a striping yarn, it's a soft moving gradient. And when I show you one of the patterns, you'll have a better idea of what that means. So we have this denim blue, color 92. We got in color 93, and this one probably won't show up that well on the thing because it's almost black to blue to kind of a softer blue. It's very, very subtle, really deep, and really, really rich looking. And there is a bit of blue and black marling a section there as well. And then
I bet the color will show more when you knit it up.
It really does show a whole lot more. This is the subtlest of all, this super soft pink to almost baby turquoise with that tannish, not really off-white, more in the tan sand. That's a good description of it. It's a sand color in there. And then we can't not have this color in the store. This is color 82. And again, this goes from that almost sunflower to a really gorgeous goldish kind of color.
Painfully beautiful.
It's painfully beautiful is right, just as it's painfully soft.
Yes.
Okay. When you look at this yarn on Ravelry, if you go to the projects page, lots of people have knit a Sophie scarf out of it. This is the Sophie scarf. I think that's a waste because you have a lot of yarn here, even though you could make several Sophie scarves out of this one skein of yarn and delight in the softness and the feel of it around your neck. You're losing the gradient, the benefit of that gradient color. So things that are better, I want to show you first the sweater that the company, whoops, where is it? That the company did out of it. And here it is. They used 2 of the pink color to do this little 3/4 sleeve top down sweater, all in one piece. This just has 3 sizes. It runs from a 36 up to a 44, but it is top down, very, very easy to knit, a little bit of zigzag lace, which isn't really very complicated at all. And again, the pattern only takes 1 page. So you know it's simple when you can fit all the words or all the descriptions just in that 1 page. So there's not a lot of size range in it, but it is the 2 skeins of the Poema, and boy, you would be able to wear that without a tank top or anything underneath, right against your skin, and just get goosebumps every time you move in it and feel it. Gorgeous. The other thing that people have done, or the other one that the company has done, is this shawl. This they also did in 2 skeins of yarn, and unfortunately they did not put anywhere what the finished measurements of this piece is. No, it's not on there either, but it is a big, basically a section. So this is one of those growing bigger, starting small, growing bigger, like a wedge shape in it. So you can stop whenever you want. But this would be another great one to make with those 2 skeins of yarn. When you make a shawl with this yarn, you're not constrained by the amount of yarn that the pattern says. One of the shawls that a lot of people did on Ravelry is the Boneyard. No, not Boneyard. Oh, no, I'm sorry. It's the Age of Brass and Steam. That starts at the neck and just gets bigger and bigger until, like I always tell people, you're either sick of knitting it or you're out of yarn. And if you have a lot of yarn, then you can make a really big shawl. But the Age of Brass and Steam works even as a small triangle. It just turns more into a little bandana one. But one of the ones that people have used a lot, and this calls for 500 yards, is the Imagine When. That's the name of it, by Joji Locatelli. And I love the simpleness, but the interest that's in this shawl. And I hope you can see all of those different directions that those yarn overs go in. That's Joji's pattern page from Ravelry, but then this is what it looks like. And I don't have the green. This was done in the green Poema, and I did not get the green. Hopefully it's on back order and it's gonna come. But that's how slow that gradient is. And I think it's just, I can't imagine that I looked at that color with the sales rep and didn't buy it.
I know,
right, Kate?
But we did.
I had to have. But this is it's mostly garter stitch, and then that yarn over changes the slight direction, gives a little kink into the work. So this is another great shawl to do it in, and I'm gonna have to knit it. I'm gonna check my back orders, and if I did order that color, wait until that color comes in. If I didn't, I'm gonna get that color right away.
It's so pretty.
So this isn't necessarily for everybody, but it is one of the real indulgences that I did go for this year because it was just too beautiful and too soft. Because it's a fingering weight, you may see some sweaters, or a couple of stores have talked about doing tank tops out of it in a tighter gauge. I really wouldn't recommend it, and I'll tell you why. It's a single ply. It is a fine merino and cashmere blend, but this is not going to hold up well to those pressure points. If you make a sweater out of it and you're doing this a lot, it's going to show after a while. And I mean, if you do that little pullover that I showed you first, you should be okay with that. I lost what I was gonna say.
Instead of doing a smaller gauge, you want it to be
do a
gauge.
Looser. That's right. Use a looser gauge on it, because you don't want it to really, have to be cared for right away. Single plies are the softest yarns out there. It also means that you're going to get some of that little bit of pilling. Easy enough to use the gleaner to take off, but you want to prevent that as much as possible. And one of the ways to do that is to think about a shawl rather than a sweater, actual sweater. So that's one of the new yarns that I wanted to show you. The new model that we got in, because we do get some models from the companies and it saves us time, is this little top right here. I just think this is the cutest little sweater that we have gotten in a long time. And this is done with the Casita yarn that I showed you last week. I grabbed a skein and made a little poncho out of it, but when we opened the box and found this in it, I fell in love with it. It is so cute. It is a 3/4 sleeve, and this is what it looks like on the body, right there. So you can see that it is right to the elbow. They're fairly simple construction. It is knit in pieces, and then you sew it together. And it is knit with a yarn over, slip one, knit one stitch, which is sometimes called a half brioche. It's not a full brioche. You're not actually knitting into the row below, but it does give that a little more depth to the ribbed look. I just love the way this little top looks. So we've got the pattern, we've got the yarn, and this little top only takes, I think it only took 2. Yep, 2 and 3 for the very largest size, and this is size inclusive. This goes all the way up to a 54-inch bust. So these are the colors. We got 4 colors of the Casita in, the pink and the 2 blues, one with gray, one with yellow, and this off-white one. So we've had a busy week. I've had an incredibly busy week, and I today feel like I survived it, got through it, and tomorrow will be gloriously my day off. And the first day in 3 weeks that I've actually been home all day. Yes, I've had a day off, but it was filled with, we went to the Big E, grocery shopping, cleaning, all of that stuff. Tomorrow I get to be home and really indulge. But I've been in the store a lot, and as usual, we hear a lot of different kinds of stories, and I wanted to share just one little observation, and I'm calling it expectation versus reality. So many of you are now know how to use Ravelry to find the pattern that you want. And so you come into the store with an idea of what it is you want to make. Some people see something in a catalog or in a magazine or even in an ad, and they bring that in and want to try to find something that is similar to it or close enough so that they can knit it. And that's great. That really helps us a lot. If you come in knowing what you want to make and you either already have the pattern, then we don't have to go looking for it or spend that kind of time. But what happens often is that once you come in to the store, you suffer what I call distracted by yarn. And it's a good thing. It's not a bad thing, But you come in with a certain expectation. Maybe you even come in with a color idea. And we're more than happy to try to help you find exactly what you're looking for. But over and over again, it happens that you might come in thinking you're looking for pink, but you fall in love with the navy blue. It's so much fun to see that happen. When you come in, it's why we do the models, so that you can see how a yarn works, how a yarn looks, and how a yarn feels when it's actually knit. And if it means that you fall in love with one of our models instead of what you thought you wanted to make, that's all good. But the other thing that I wanted to say was that when you are looking at either that picture of the pattern on Ravelry or that picture of the sweater in a catalog, your brain thinks you're looking at that sweater. But what you're really seeing is that whole package. You're seeing the background, the lighting. You're even being influenced by the hair color of the model. You might be very in love with the color and think you love the shape of the sweater. There's a whole lot of variables in there. So when people come in and ask me to help them find that, in order to help move them along, that's often what I will ask you is that shape the shape that you wear? Do you wear raglan sleeve? Do you wear drop sleeve? Is the crew neck hitting in the right place? Is that really the color that you want? So we're here to help you work through that process and to sort of narrow down just exactly what it is you're really seeing when you see that picture or think you want to make that sweater. I've had it happen many times that we end up with something completely different, or the distracted by yarn kicks in and all of a sudden we have 8 different things on the table, and I can help move you back to what you originally came in to do. It's one of the things actually that makes this job so much fun, is to see how much yarn can affect people's mood, people's feeling about themselves, what they wear, and how they get there. So I hope that all of you can use that information the next time you're looking for a project for the fall. We're going to be talking a lot about what you are going to be knitting this fall. Like I said, it seems to be slippers are having a moment. I'll be showing you another slipper yarn next week that has its own unique flavor, and then we'll jump into projects and lots of different classes, and we'll start talking about that gift knitting because the pressure will be on. In the meantime, you guys have a great time. Think about this yarn. Think about the classes. Check them out. Check out our calendar. But definitely go and knit something. Bye.